Hello, everybody, and welcome to Wingcat Sports. Sorry, I'm a little sick, so I'm going to be a little bit quieter than I usually am. But it's our Lions versus Vikings postgame. It was a little bit slow to start, but it ended a little bit faster. Lions winning 30-20,
Is that what you mean by
12-5. I mean, I was at the game.
Because
It was somewhat entertaining, but
It was fun. I thought,
that first half
But
was, I mean, it's like being waterboarded.
well, I don't know what you guys want. Everyone's complaining.
I mean,
that
I wanted-
they're-
it
they're
wasn't- it
getting
wasn't the
hurt,
most
don't
entertaining
play the
half.
starters.
Yeah. Well, we'll
and
talk
yet you
about
want an
that.
entertaining game.
We'll talk
I
about
don't
that.
So, defensively, they did stop the run like they did last time against Minnesota, 89 yards rushing. But Mullins again threw for almost 400 yards on you.
Yeah, that's the thing.
And 2 picks, 2
Yep.
TDs, 2 picks. Goff didn't have a bad game at all, though. He didn't throw an interception at all. He threw for 320, 2 TDs. Montgomery got over 1,000 yards on the year, getting 40 yards on the day. Gibbs did not get to that 1,000-yard mark. Laporta broke the rookie record for touchdowns by a tight end. We're a rookie. So a lot of good things happened today and some bad stuff happened today with Laporta getting hurt.
That, well, I mean, be happy with the win, of course, but it's the Vikings. They're god freaking awful. They really are. And the big concern is what you just mentioned, Harold, is that for the second time in 3 weeks, you let a flea bag of a quarterback like Mullins throw for almost 400 yards on your secondary. This is a big concern going into the playoffs, depending upon who we play. Any playoff caliber QB is going to absolutely torch your secondary. I mean, I was one of these guys that said, "Oh, let's get Stafford in here. I'd like to play the Rams. I'd like to have him come back and have kind of a 'we showed you' type of attitude toward them." I don't want Stafford the first round of the playoffs right now because he would probably throw for about 500 yards, 4 TDs, and then he would run along the Lions sideline helicoptering the whole team.
Well, the thing is, the reason why
it's a concern. That secondary, even Gardner. I didn't even know Gardner was in the game until I saw that interception. I didn't know it.
He made a few tackles.
I didn't know it.
But
they weren't good.
For most part, the reason why he had so many yards is Justin Jefferson. Almost 200 yards. Same thing that happened with CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah.
Almost 200 yards that day.
We definitely have concerns, guys. And again, we'll talk about this. I said from the beginning they could have beat this team, even though it was by a field goal. It was a win. But you had Khalif Raymond go down. You have Laporta go down. You have to know when to take these guys out. Which
is what he did. I don't know if Laporta could have kept on going or not because he did seem fine walking off the field at the game.
Yeah.
But looking at the video, it does not look as good as you might want it to be. Hopefully, it's not that bad. Hopefully, we end up playing Monday night, in my opinion. So
when you mean
you get the extra day
when your left leg is bent like a horseshoe,
I said hopefully he's fine. He walked off like it didn't look like. I thought it was a head injury.
Well,
that's how well he.
Aaron Rodgers walked off the field with his injury, and look what happened. Right. You just don't want to take the chance. I can understand playing for a half. But get these guys out of here.
Why play at all? Do you want to win the game?
I've been saying I wouldn't have played them, but everybody else.
Do you want to win the game?
It was boiling down. They want the second. Seed.
We also didn't have any tight ends. We only had 2 tight ends.
You have Brock Wright.
No, you didn't.
Mitchell. No, Brock Wright was injured.
Yes.
Well, put Mitchell in there. If he gets injured, then you put Laporta in.
You knew Dan Campbell wanted to win this game. He said it all week. And if you want to win the game, you're going to play the starters. That's that simple. Don't play. If you don't care if you win the game, then don't play him at all. It's that simple. Do you want to win this game? And he wanted to win it, and he won it, and he played his starters. And yes, he may have,
And we have no idea how bad these injuries are.
No,
we don't.
Not at the moment.
You're playing because you think you still have an outside chance for the second seed. It's a very slim chance. And then when you look at it, the last 2 games, really, as most people here feel, and most people outside of Texas feel, we won the last 2 games. We have legitimately in our heads have a 13-4 season. That's an elite team. You win 13 games, you're an elite team. And I think
we're on the cusp of it. I would say.
Well, we're on the cusp because we got ripped off in Dallas. But I mean, that's a hell of an achievement. They won their division. They have a home playoff game.
Yes, they do.
Now, are they going to win that playoff game? There's no guarantee. I have no clue.
We have to find out who they're playing first.
You're not going to turn that defense into something it's not in a week. It's not going. This is what you have, and you're right. Whoever we play, whether it's Stafford or Jordan Love, is probably going to light up our secondary. So far, we have won 13 games with people lighting up our secondary.
Yes, we have.
So, I mean, I don't know what else. We have not been good all year. Our secondary has been shit.
If you're worried about a wide receiver, you're going to probably want to play the Packers because they don't have a deep threat.
I don't.
They don't have one.
I think
it's just a random one.
I certainly think that Stafford poses different problems. Jordan Love, to me, is still a very average quarterback. I think we could beat the Packers.
Yes,
I think the reason we didn't beat the Packers last time is not because of our defense, but because our offense played so horrible and turned the ball over constantly. And we still almost won that game, playing probably the worst game we played all year. We still almost won it.
So, because we're doing this at a time where we don't know the scores of any other games going on besides the ones that happened earlier today, because this is just after I got home from the game. Right now, the Giants are beating the Eagles 17-0.
Shit. Really?
Wow. Well, the Eagles are
what's Dallas and Washington?
It is 14-10 right now.
This is the idea that
you, Washington hate that is a legit rivalry, and you're playing in Washington. There is a good chance. Now, will you guys change your whole perspective if both those teams lose?
Well,
I'm not really afraid to play Philly because what are they 1-5 in their last 6 games? They're freaking off. They played terrible.
I'm not saying that, but is your perspective about playing the starters today going to change if we end up with the 2nd seed?
I'd say no.
So you would rather have the 3rd seed and save our starters?
I think we would have won anyways today.
But you have a home field advantage in the first 2 rounds.
Yeah, I understand that, but I'm just saying we would have won anyways today.
I'm not so sure.
At the moment, there could be a chance the Lions get the 2nd seed and face the New Orleans Saints. If somehow the Bears turn it around, they beat the Packers, somehow the Seahawks lose.
How the hell New Orleans?
And New Orleans win with New Orleans win earlier today. New Orleans will come here.
Shit division
at the moment, and it's looking like a possibility could happen. But the Seahawks game
500 or
the Seahawks are 10-3 are winning 10-3 right now. So I don't know how possible it is, but it's looking like there's a possibility that Seahawks or Saints might still be in the cards, depending on how this Bears-Packers game ends at 6-7 at halftime. Right. But 2nd seed's looking like a possibility at the moment.
Yeah, I mean,
and that would mean
he said this all week.
2 home playoff games,
right? The first 2 rounds, if you win the first one, because it don't matter next week. It don't matter who we face, whether it's Seattle, Green Bay, LA. It's going to be a tough matchup. We are not going to just come in there and run all over them. It is going to be a tough game. I just, with that defense, you never know. And our offense doesn't seem to always show up now and then. I mean, we've had a great year, but like I said, 13, really, I'm saying 13-4, even though they're 12-5, doesn't make much of a difference. That's a hell of an accomplishment. And they've done it with a bad defense all year long.
It's their best record in what? Years, decades.
Well, yeah, I think it's all time.
So I think we should all be happy and wait for tomorrow and see who we're facing.
But this is, I just don't want a playoff appearance, guys. I want to go deep in the playoffs. I want a championship if it's possible.
We can want all we want, but it's not a reality. I mean, I think we can, but with this team, I really don't know. They could go deep. They could lose in the first round.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, I mean, there's no guarantees. You made it this far. They deserve a little bit of a pat on the back for making it as far as they did. And with the record that they have, and then let's go on to the playoffs. It's a new season, and let's see what they can do.
Yeah.
I perfectly think that they can beat anybody in the NFC, with the exception of possibly, and I don't even know.
They can beat Philly.
We can beat the 49ers too, if it's on the right day, if our offense is clicking. But I look at that 49ers team, and it's going
to take everything you got.
I mean, they got so many weapons.
And if you are the second seed or the third seed, you don't have to face them until the last game before the Super Bowl.
Right.
If you do.
Exactly.
If you even make it that far.
Exactly. If we have to worry about San Francisco and we're in the second seed, that's the NFC Championship game. And a lot can go wrong with them. I think there are other teams that probably match up with San Francisco better than us. They might get eliminated.
They might.
Why are they having a Monday night playoff game? That's never happened.
There is a Monday night playoff game.
I hope they do because I'm working that day.
Because I'm working and I won't be able to see it.
Oh, that's true.
I want Monday night just because of the injuries. You get one extra day to get people healthier.
Well, we'll see.
You called off sick lately?
I took today off. Tomorrow.
I don't think I can call off sick
for the Michigan game.
Like I said, we have a lot of possibilities. Once we know everything, we'll make a video on that. Make that FC North video once the game's end later. But it wasn't a bad game today.
Will the playoff schedule be released tomorrow?
Tonight.
Yeah,
they'll know. They'll know after the 8:00 game.
So we'll know
Monday night.
Well, we'll know after these games.
Yeah,
because
they'll know when we're playing, what time.
Well, they're gonna probably tell us when we're playing, but we know who we're gonna play.
Yeah,
so we'll get more into that in another video.
Woo!
But decent game by the Lions. Right, they won. Can't be
Is there
upset.
a late game tonight?
Yes, there is. Bills, Dolphins. Whoever wins that wins the East, and the Bills could be the second seed or out of the playoffs.
Right. I mean, the AFC teams are set. They just don't know where they're seated. From what I looked this afternoon at the NBC, they said all the wild cards are clinched. All the wild card teams are clinched. So it's just determining whether.
No, the Dolphins will be in if they lose still.
Right. Well, I'm just saying that the 7 teams are picked already.
No.
What? Really?
I don't believe Buffalo is a playoff team.
From what I saw.
Unless they win. I'll have to go more into that. I believe Buffalo has to win to get in.
What we're talking about. That's okay.
Anyway, good game by the Lions. Looking forward to the playoffs. We'll get more into that.
We'll have a playoff video soon.
Until next time, right? Like, comment, share, do all that fun stuff.
Keep the train rolling.
Keep the train rolling.
Hope to see everybody soon.